welcome back to Limestone County Sports. Obviously not football season. Football season will be here before we know it in about 8 weeks. Me and Mr. Jay Vassar will be back on the grind with Limestone County football and on the Limestone County Sports. But we have a treat for today. Getting ready to get the podcast rolling again, we are going to do a fantastic interview. I already know it's going to be fantastic, Coach, with head softball coach at Ardmore High School, Miss Whitney King. Welcome to the show, Whitney.
Hello.
How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Is the coffee kicking in yet?
The coffee is kicking in.
Good. So we're going to have a fantastic show and try to get some tidbits of knowledge from a high-level player at Auburn. We'll jump into some of that stuff, and then how softball's been treating you since then, and hopefully be a good, entertaining show for the tens of people who listen to this.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Just kind of jumping in, Coach, you guys, if any of our listeners don't know, you guys are from this area, right?
Yes, I was born in Athens LImestone Hospital, and I have grown up here. I went to Athens High School. Only time I've been away is when I was at Auburn.
Nice. Now, I know your pastor, Mike Green, down at Round Island Baptist Church. He shared with me a while back that you have a very cool story on how you got to Auburn.
Yes, sir.
Let's back up just a second before we get there. I did want to ask you, when did you start playing softball? What age, if you remember?
Okay, so I started playing softball, I want to say when I was 6. T-ball,
Yep.
Athens Rec.
Yep. Do you remember the name of the first team you played on?
The Ladybugs.
I think they still use Ladybugs and some stuff.
And then it was the Crickets. So I was the
Ladybugs
Ladybugs and the
Crickets.
We were the insects. Yep.
Interesting. Now, was your dad, Andy, your coach?
He was the assistant my second year of T-ball. I don't believe he helped my first year, which I honestly don't remember T-ball whatsoever.
Yeah.
Only thing I truly remember about T-ball is they used to do a parade around the square.
Yes.
For Athens City Rex because the fields were at Cowart. So we'd start at Cowart. Each team would have a truck or, a trailer, and they'd load the team in it. They would drive us around the square in a parade, like a normal
Is this
parade.
like opening day ceremony?
Opening day ceremony. It was the best experience. I wish Athens City Youth League would still do that because, to this day, I don't remember any T-ball, but I remember the parade and the excitement of opening day.
You thought it was the greatest thing that
ever
happened.
All of us did. It was awesome. We got to decorate the truck, got to decorate ourselves. We were fired up. We were ready to play ball. It was the greatest thing.
That's awesome, man.
Yes.
So, how long did you play rec ball?
I played rec ball until probably my second year of tenure. With that, though, I played travel ball too. So I started travel ball probably my second year of 8U, so it was coach pitch. Played for the North Alabama Explosion, which was out of Athens. And then in tenure, I was a year older than all my friends because I was held back in first grade anyway. So I had to move up, and all my friends stayed down. So then I joined the North Alabama Rockets. Played with them for a whole year, and then that was awesome. I started pitching then. That was when I started pitching.
10U?
That's 10U, yes. I actually started pitching when I was 9, but going into I started pitching really in games in 10U, obviously. Yeah. And then I was still playing rec ball though at the time as well.
So you were dominating rec ball at this point.
My second year of 10U, I absolutely dominated. Yes.
Nice.
Yes, absolutely.
Kids always love dominating.
Yes, it was fun. It was super fun. But see, rec ball, and I don't mean any disrespect to rec ball.
Yeah.
But rec ball was different then. It's not like it is now. It was very competitive. All Stars was super competitive. Rec ball was super competitive, and like a lot of people did that. A lot of people played rec ball because especially it just means something when you're from a town. You play with your friends, right? We played rec ball during the week, and then we'd go play travel ball on the weekends, and that's just how it was. It's different now, but that's just how it was. Yep. Now you can't do that.
Gotcha. Yep. And so then you North Alabama Rockets start to play school ball, I guess, 7th grade.
Yes, I played North Alabama Rockets, and then I went back to Explosion my second year of 10U. No, I did not. I went back to Explosion in the fall, and then the Comets boomed. The Comets 94 boomed, and we were like the team of North Alabama, and I played with them all the way until 16U.
My niece played for the Comets.
We were Comets 94, so we were like that first really good team. There was an older Comets. There was a year or two older than us that was good too, but we were like the team. And then 16U, I went off to play, I don't want to say bigger travel ball, but very much so competitive travel ball. But yes, I started playing school ball 7th grade. My dad coached me in middle school. I played for Athens Middle School. So
how was that?
That was hard.
My daughter would say the same.
And anybody who is on, if you're listening and you were on the Athens Middle School team with me, you know it was hard because you saw things you probably shouldn't have saw or heard things you probably shouldn't have saw. But my dad had slid up, obviously, since then. But he was very, very hard on me. Fun fact about our middle school team, we were undefeated. We got in trouble. Somebody turned us in because we won a JV tournament.
So middle school teams are not supposed to win JV tournaments?
Middle school teams are not supposed to play JV tournaments unless they're sanctioned. And at Athens at the time, our superintendent wouldn't let middle schoolers play high school, so we couldn't be sanctioned for JV.
Gotcha.
But we were 36-0, and we were awesome. We were dominant. We beat our high school team in a scrimmage game. That was awesome. That's something we'll never forget. But we were really good in middle school. And then moved on to high school, and that first year we won state.
Yep. So you were playing varsity in 9th grade.
9th grade, yes, sir.
Couldn't play varsity till 9th grade.
Not when I now you can at Athens, but when I played, you could not.
Yeah, no. And one of blew them out.
We did.
Freshman year.
Freshman year, we were not supposed to at all. It was like the story of David and Goliath. Like, we weren't ranked. We had never been to state. Our girls had never been to state. We were young. We didn't have a senior on the team. We actually did not win area. We got second area, and something clicked after that.
Yeah.
And we
off and running.
Yep. Never lost a game after that. We ended up beating Mortimer Jordan twice, and Mortimer Jordan is like the Orange Beach.
Yeah.
They were ranked 15th in the country at the time. They had Haley McClenny. They had Morgan Estelle. I played with Morgan at Auburn. I mean, they were loaded, and we beat them twice. Sure
Sweet.
Did.
So 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade year, no blue maps.
No blue maps, and it hurts, but it makes that one like extra special.
Right.
It's so much harder once you have the target on your back. People like that was like, oh, Athens is good, so it just makes it so much harder.
Yeah. Now, did you get back to the state tournament?
Never did.
Really?
Regionals.
Wow.
Always one game away.
Well, you made up for it after high school. Now, again, going back to the story I was trying to tell, Mike Green was telling me he didn't even have all the details, but
it's a lot.
How you got
ready?
From Athens to Auburn. Ready to go.
Ready. Okay, so I played travel ball when I was in 16U. I played travel ball with the Germantown Red Devils. Great organization. I recommend them to anyone who wants to play D1 softball.
Where were they out of?
They're at Germantown, Tennessee, which is Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, and that's still an organization.
Still an organization. We'll get to that, but I coached there for 3 years before coaching travel ball. I love them. Love Jack Kenny. He's kind of head over that. Yeah. But he recommended to my dad that we try out for the Adidas Futures team that year, which is just so Adidas Futures at the time, and I don't even know if they do that anymore, but it's basically each state has a team, and you technically have to try out for it. And our state's was hosted by the Bolts, which is Birmingham Bolts, as everyone knows. So we had tryouts down there, made the team. We practiced for like a week, and then they flew us out to Utah. We played in what is now like, Utah's so hot. It was July, so we had to play all hours of the night and sleep during the day. It was one of those kind of tournaments, but it was a huge recruiting tournament. So when we get there, I had never been in anything like that. I had played in Colorado a few weeks before, which was amazing to me because that was my first time playing out there, and all the college coaches, it was nuts. But this was on a whole nother level. And so we get out there, and we actually meet we match up with Arizona. I don't know if it's because Alabama, Arizona, I don't know. But so our teams combined. So Alabama's coach and Arizona's coach, who was Corey Myers at the time, his dad was the coach at Arizona State, who ended up being my coach. Anyway, he was they were our coaches, so they coached us. And I had a really good tournament, that tournament. And obviously, Alabama girls from the South are just built different. They don't want to leave their mamas. Like, never would I ever imagine going, at the time, UCLA is like the softball domination. Like, UCLA is the best of the best. Arizona is the best of the best. It was like Pac-12, like that's softball heaven, right? I didn't want to go play in the Pac-12. We're football over here. Like, I want to go play in the SEC.
Yeah.
So I was
Good choice.
I was a big Alabama fan, believe it or not, huge Alabama fan. Anyway, I could tell he liked me as a player, but never would I even consider Arizona State, and they knew that. So a year or two later, recruiting, you're trying to get, and I never got the offer that I not necessarily deserved, but I just felt like I was always overlooked. But it was tough for me because I pitched, and I'm not an SEC pitcher. But I was an SEC shortstop. I'll be the first to tell you, and I'm not afraid to say that. But I was an SEC shortstop, but I had to pitch a lot. So I got missed a lot, Yeah. And anyway, he saw that. He saw that in me. And I go back to Lipscomb University. I committed to Lipscomb, but Lipscomb University was the only school that offered me a full ride. And my parents didn't play sports in college. They didn't, and you don't get offered a full ride as a shortstop. You just don't, not in softball, or at least then you don't. Now with NIL, it's different, but then you didn't. So I knew if I went to Lipscomb, I would play. Like, there was no doubt. And plus, it was an hour from home. It was Nashville. Nashville just started booming, It's not what it was now. So I just, in my heart, I felt like that's what God had wanted me to do. So I just never felt good about it, though. I'm going to be honest. I never felt good. They gave me 2 weeks to make a decision, too. And as a 16-year-old girl trying to make a decision like that, that's hard.
Yeah.
So I just jumped into it. I said yes. So I committed. Went on my official visit. I'm like, I don't know, Mom. I don't know. Like, and she's like, you're going to be fine, yada, yada, yada.
Are you a senior at this point?
I want to say I'm a junior winter of my junior year. What, maybe it was. No, I probably was a senior. I can't remember. I probably was a senior. It's probably the winter of my senior year. You're right. Official visit. And then the summer going into, sorry, I know this is a lot. The summer going into college, right? Summer going into college, I did the student orientation where you stay the night, you pick your classes, all the things. And I remember calling my mom. I'm like, Mom, this is not where I'm supposed to be. This is not where I'm supposed to be at all. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I was crying. I was like, Mom, I do not fit in here. This ain't it. And she's like, well, I don't know what you want me to do. What can you say, right? Yeah. So I kid you not, the very next weekend, we were in Chattanooga. I was playing for the Chattanooga, or out of Chattanooga, but the Fury at the time. And we actually ended up playing Corey's team. And he, after the game, I'm not really supposed to say this, but it's 10 years. It's okay. After the game, he whispered in my ear. All he said was, my dad's going to Auburn. You'll hear about it in the next week. So, of course, I knew what he meant. Yes. He never said, there's rules. You can't, I'm signed. I knew what he meant. Right. So I told Mom and Dad, never did I ever think about Auburn. And I'm going to be honest, Auburn softball was terrible, the worst in the SEC. I grew up an Alabama fan. I'd never even been to Auburn's campus, never even thought about it. But my wheels obviously started turning. Of course, he came out that he was the coach. Corey couldn't talk to me at the time, right? But other people could. You know what I'm saying? So he had his people. And, of course, I had talked to those people. And within 2 weeks, I had decided that's where I'm supposed to go. So I had to make the call to Lipscomb. That's a hard call for a 17-year-old to make. and they were not happy. Like, I was their big time, player that they were getting, and they were not happy, so they wouldn't release me because I'd already signed. So my only option was to go to Auburn, lose a year of eligibility, or I could kind of cheat the system and kind of take a gamble.
Yeah.
And sit out for a year. And all Lipscomb would have to do was offer me the same exact offer the following year. And then I would have to repeat the process. But who's going to hold out on a full ride of a player? That's a lot of money, especially for Lipscomb, because Lipscomb's very expensive, as you probably know. So we took the gamble. I sat out for a year. I did not go to Auburn. So what I did is I actually went to Calhoun. I was a part-time student. If you're a full-time student, it counts toward your eligibility. But if you're part-time, it does not count. So I took 3 classes per semester, went to Auburn in the fall, and I was actually, by grade, I was a sophomore, but eligibility-wise, I was a freshman. So oldest freshman probably in Auburn softball history. I was 20 when I got there. But that's my story.
All this was way before NIL. Any of that stuff is going on. A lot more lax on transfer.
That was pure,
all that stuff.
Pure my wanting to play in the SEC. 100% drive to play in the SEC, yeah.
So at Auburn, as a 29-year-old freshman, not 29, but
I stopped playing at 24, so if that tells you anything.
When do you start to get legit playing time at Auburn? Freshman, sophomore?
So I definitely was not a starter my freshman year. I did have a few at-bats. I played against Alabama third base because the third baseman got hurt in the middle of the game, so I got thrown into that. But I did get to start against Georgia my freshman year as the DP. Got a hit. That was really cool. I'll never forget that. But so I was kind of like, I knew I was probably going to play. I was probably going to get in a bat series or every other series. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Knew I probably wasn't going to get to play in the field, but I knew that. However, my freshman year, people don't know this, but we were in regionals. I actually got the hit to send us to our first Women's College World Series. It technically wasn't a hit, but it was an RBI, so I take full credit up for it.
You got the RBI.
He literally, when he pulled, it's the 11th inning of the game. He calls me in to hit. I hadn't swung in probably 6 hours. It was the 11th inning of the game. You warm up like 4 hours before the game, so I hadn't swung a bat in a long time. And he just looked at me. He said, "All I need is a ground ball. All I need is a ground ball." By golly, I hit a ground ball to second base. We sent us to the Women's College World Series. So.
There you go.
Yeah, I know.
You did your job.
I did exactly what he told me to do.
I've heard you say on the field hundreds of times in 1 year, just hit it on the ground.
Yes, because it works every time. That's not the only time I've hit a ground ball in a big game. So, or anybody's hit a ground ball in a big game and scored a run. Yeah.
And you guys got to the Women's College World Series.
Time Auburn ever made it to the Women's College World Series was my freshman year. Yeah.
Gotcha. Is how much what did playing time look like in the World Series?
I didn't play a second in the World Series, but I knew in the back of my mind there was a possibility that I could. So mentally, I was ready for that. And I had the time of my life. I'm glad I did not have to. I know this sounds awful, but I'm glad I didn't get put in that situation because I don't know if I could have handled it. It made me.
We did later, right?
Yes, that's what I'm gonna get to. Having to sit there and watch it and witness it. It made the second time so much better for me. When I actually played in it, it was because it wasn't as big. You know what I'm saying? It was the expectation. It wasn't as big.
Yeah. So moving on to the next College World Series. Is that your sophomore year?
Sophomore year. I was a starting shortstop that year. People don't know this. I got put in kind of a bad situation. I was going to be the starting right fielder that season. 2 weeks before season, our starting shortstop, actually so I was the third string shortstop because I was the right fielder, right? I had only been practicing outfield up until 2 weeks before season. They both tore their ACLs within a week.
Wow.
So ready or not.
It's go time.
It's go time. Yes, but I love shortstop. I'd played it my whole life. I loved it. I will say I loved our outfield coach a whole lot better than I liked our infield coach, and he knows that. They all know that. But starting shortstop. It was awesome. The whole World Series was just amazing. The whole thing. I mean, obviously, I wish we could have won, but
now that's the year you went to the finals.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Sophomore year.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like actually going the year before and just watching and being a part and cheering my team on and all the things like made that second year for me actually playing every inning, every pitch, so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was sophomore year, and then junior, senior year, what did that look like?
So junior year was the year, I hate talking about it, but junior year was the year of the controversy for Auburn softball. It was a really hard year for all of us, not just the people involved. I mean, we're all involved because it was a really hard year. And I'm just going to be honest. Some of our teammates who was on our team my freshman and sophomore year don't understand. They kind of get mad at us, I feel like, and they just don't understand the change in the vibe and the just expectations and the just the atmosphere of it all had completely changed by everybody, and it was miserable all the way around. So my senior year, I had to do my teaching internship. That's all I had left. Couldn't do it during season. I could have graduated my junior year, but coach wouldn't let me do my internship during season, which is fine. It's not just him. Most D1 coaches aren't going to do that, which makes sense because you need to focus on season during season. Yeah. But so all I had was my internship left, so I did not play my senior year.
I did not know that.
I did not play. It was a coaching change. It was I didn't play. So I started coaching high school. It would have been that very next season.
Yeah. So graduate Auburn, moving into coaching, first coaching gig.
So I had been coaching travel ball throughout my the summers of my college for Germantown, which is awesome. Kayla Beaver, who pitched for Alabama, she played for me at Germantown. I've got to meet so many people. I love coaching. I love coaching travel ball, but when you have kids, I had Cameron, so I had to quit that. Cameron and summers and traveling all over the country was hard with a newborn. Right. But as soon as I graduated, I got a job at Joy Newman Elementary School in Athens City Schools. And I helped coach high school for 2 years there. And then actually asked to coach middle school. So I coached middle school 2 years. That first year was COVID year. I hate that. God, we were so good. I know all the coaches say that during COVID year, but man, that was such a fun group, and I hated that happened, but it is what it is. And then I coached that second season at Athens, and then I took a leap of faith. I felt like God was calling me somewhere else, and I went to little old Hatton, and boy, was he calling me, because a lot of people. I didn't leave Hatton because I wanted to leave Hatton. I left Hatton because it was an hour away from my house, and I have 2 children, so it was really hard. But that was the best decision I have made in my adult career.
Going to Hatton?
Going to Hatton, absolutely.
How long were you there?
I was there for 3 years. I coached softball for 2 years. That last year I did not coach. I took the year off. I coached with a newborn and a 3-year-old, and that was so hard, especially being an hour away from home. And we actually had a death in our family, and it was just a really hard year that second year there. Not anything Hatton had done. It was just at home was hard. Yeah. So I decided to take that 3rd year off. But Denton Bolin was the head coach at Hatton, and he taught me so much. And, I owe him a whole lot, because I was almost ready to quit, like coaching high school sports in general. And then I went over there, gave it one more shot, and I fell back in love with it. We won state. That obviously helps when you win. It's fun to win. And we won state my second year there. That was incredible.
So you got a ring for that?
I did.
Nice. So you got a playing blue map, a coaching blue map.
Yes, sir.
And all you mentioned is the head coaching blue map.
Yes,
and
you are correct.
Now we're working on that.
We are working. We're working hard on that, really hard.
Yeah, if you don't know, we've already mentioned you're now head coach at Ardmore, just completed year 1.
Yes.
How head coaching compared to assistant coaching, travel coaching, all that other stuff?
So, assistant coaching, you're the good cop, right? Like you can, the head coach is blah, 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 and then they come to you and you have to love on them because they need that. You have to have that, right? So my role has changed. I am always
you're
in my heart.
Now?
I am the bad cop, but in my heart, I'm always the bad cop. So it fits me better, honestly.
I can see that.
Fits me better to be the bad cop. But I loved, I don't want to say they're friends, but I loved that they came to me. It's kind of like a mom. Mm-hmm. And plus I had an infant at home, so it was like perfect at the time. Like timing was great for that. But no, I fit more into the bad cop role 100%.
Mm-hmm. You enjoy that?
I do enjoy it. I don't mean that ugly. Like I always had a bad cop, right? Like as a player, so like I enjoy pushing them. Mm-hmm. I enjoy letting them know, like, hey, you're better than that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I just really enjoy that.
So, just one complete season. Mm-hmm. Anything you thought, man, I dropped the ball on this, or this is something moving forward we would do different. Hey, here's some things that were awesome that we did, and I want to continue doing those things.
I say we were a really good small ball team. I'm proud of our small ball. We really took an emphasis on that in practice. Really big emphasis. Like I think the girls got tired of it. Like we bunted almost every day, and we worked on bunt defenses at least 3 times a week. I mean, when we could. Anytime we could, we worked on it. So I was really proud of our defense, how we handled small ball, and how we offensively handled small ball. No matter how many times you say hit the ball on the ground, and no matter how many times you work on it, we still didn't do a great job with that. And I think going forward, we have to figure out how we can really get the girls to trust that. I think they could do it. Mm-hmm. I just think it was a trust thing of. And also, it's
we want to hit dingers, though, Coach.
Yes, you're exactly right. And I think it's I want to get the big hit, when in reality, the big hit may be a ground ball. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So just getting them to trust that is my big emphasis this year.
Mm-hmm. Just from being around up at Ardmore and having a middle schooler, I think just seeing a lot of ball through the years, a lot of sports through the years. This is my baby, so I've got older kids who have moved on. But one of the things that I really appreciate is your investment in the younger group. Really invested in all the girls, but not just, hey, handing them off and saying, hey, see y'all in April. I know all of our girls practice together, 7 through 12. Everybody's getting the same verbiage, same calls, same language, everything. And so you bump some girls up, say from middle school JV, no change. Get bumped up JV, varsity, no change. Coach King shows up at a tournament where varsity's off and everything is all the same. It's not like anything is different from one coach to the next or from middle school JV varsity. Everything is the same across the board, and that's going to be helpful moving forward.
Yeah, I think so. I think it helps that I coach middle school. So I got that opportunity to coach, and I know how important it is. Middle school is so important. Like and I mean this, if you're not good in middle school, you're not going to be good in high school. So you're only as good as your middle school.
Yeah. So what would you say? And I know very smaller programs are very limited, but if you had the girls and you're not trying to field a middle school team, so you're cutting a lot of middle schoolers, and when you cut a lot of those kids are never getting back.
Absolutely.
They're just gonna move on. Any advice or just, hey guys, reevaluate, because this is the future of your program.
Absolutely. I always put emphasis on your middle school team should have your largest number, right? Girls are growing, girls develop at different times. However, it makes it easier on you as a coach if they know, like by the time they get to 9th grade, that they know what to expect, that they're not shell shocked, and that you're not having to work so hard on the fundamentals, like repeating yourself over and over and over. Don't get me wrong, we're going to work on it. But like it's exhausting to say the same thing over and over and over and over, years on years on years, you know? So like it's so much nicer. You can utilize your time, especially in the future, like years down the road. Like you can work on things that you normally don't get to work on. Like you can work on weird coverages or trick plays or, you know, just different situations that may arise in big time games because you're not having to work on like continuous ground ball, continuous footwork, because you're not having to work on that as much because you've already instilled it in them years prior. You know what I'm saying? So it just, I'm trying to, don't get me wrong. This kind of sounds selfish, but I'm trying to make it easier on myself, you know? So
makes sense.
Yeah. And also, I mean, why would you not, that again, that is the future of your program. You're only as good as they are. So you're only that my dad always said, you're only as good as your weakest player. Right. So like, why would we not want our weakest player to be a stud? You know, that means we're good.
Right. One thing I appreciate my daughter was playing middle school this past season, and our last tournament we were down in Hartselle, and it's like a Saturday or something. JV and varsity is heading to the beach to play in some tournaments down there, and lo and behold, Coach King walks up at about 9-10 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and I'm like, "Hey, Coach, what's up? Awesome!" And you're like, "I'm gonna be here all day." And then we ended up making it to the final. We played Hearts on the final, but and they beat us in the final. But Coach King is walking out to her car with her own children, loading them up in the vehicle, leaving Hartselle at 9 p.m. to drive to the beach. And all of us parents are very appreciative of that you would, you know, invest in them kids and you probably didn't have to be there, but we sure did appreciate you being there.
I love coaching, and I love, you know, I got to teach those girls. I was their 8th grade teacher, so I know most of them like really close, like closer than on the field close. And no, I'm appreciative of them, and I wanted to do that. That was something I wanted to do. And I had told all the coaches like weeks in advance, like, "Hey, I'm coaching this tournament." Told my family, "Hey, I'm coaching this tournament," so they knew. And it was so much fun. We had so much fun.
We did. And, well, like you said.
And we competed to the very end.
Well, I was going to say, you said it. The bad cop was there, and they played at a high level all the time. But when the bad cop's there, it's just a little notch higher.
Yeah.
And so when all the parents looked around and seen Coach King walking up, we were like, it's going to be on today.
And they played great. They played so good. I was so proud of all day. And, like, they were in situations where they were down and they never stopped fighting. And that's fun. Like, middle school's so fun because all they want to do is win. They're not worried about personal stats, and they're not worried about, like, people are like, middle school. No, I'm like, I love middle school. I love it.
It was a lot of fun.
They play for each other, and it's so much fun. It's like real, like, you get down to the nitty gritty, what softball's all about. It's not about me.
Is that mentality something that bleeds over into championship teams at the, say, varsity level and even the D1 college level? Is that more of what teams need to have to be successful?
Oh, absolutely. When you play for the people who are puking their guts out right beside you a Saturday morning in the fall, like when you think about what all you've been through together and what all you've done together, and you play for that and not yourself and not your personal accolades or not your, like, and even more so in college, to be famous or to be on TV or to get likes on social media. Like, when you play because you truly love softball, softball's so much more fun. It's so much more fun, and you win a whole lot more ball games.
Softball is a ton of fun, Coach. I like watching it. Just a last coaching topic. Okay. What would Coach King define your style of coaching? Defensive, offensive, all of the above?
I would say defensive. Obviously, you have to hit the ball. The game has changed so much. So when I was coming up, it was a pitching game. Like, it was pitching the team, which it's still like that in a lot of ways. But pitchers, there wasn't just a whole lot of, like, teams that didn't have a pitcher. Like, everybody, I felt like everybody had that stud pitcher, right? It was a pitcher's game. You didn't get very many hits. And, like, growing up as a softball player, like, it's so weird now. Like, you have hitting coaches, or you go to hitting lessons. I give hitting lessons, you know. But when I grew up, that wasn't a thing. Like, you had a pitching instructor, like you went and pitched, but you did not go to hitting instructors. And not that hitting wasn't important, but it was like such a defensive pitching game. So that's instilled in me. When I got to college, obviously, we had some really good hitting coaches. Casey Myers was a great hitting coach. I'll give him that. And he taught me so much. But, again, we were the best defensive team in the nation. So we continued, just, I would say we were more of a defensive. I mean, we were the best defensive team in the nation, number wise. And I would say it showed on the field. So I would say defensive. I just think defense wins championships. You don't have to get a hit to win a ball game. You just have to have a base runner on. But you do have to get 21 outs to win a ball game. So definitely, I would say defense.
I like it. What does the summer look like for a head softball coach?
It depends. For me, we are working out twice a week in the mornings, and then on Thursdays, I'm doing individuals with returning players, which that means is so they kind of have a 20-minute time slot with me to work on stuff that they need to work on individually. Makes for a really long day, a hot, long day at the field for me. But I think it's going to pay off in the long run, especially, and I think it's going to make it easier on me in the long run if I do this now. So I'm there all day on Thursday. And then on Thursday nights, we either do pitchers and catchers for an hour, like all the pitchers and catchers will come for an hour, or we'll do like this Thursday night, tomorrow night is outfielder night. So all the outfielders will come and we'll work only outfield for an hour. We're also doing an infield one. So we're working. We are working. Summer's probably busier for me as a mom and a coach than it is in the fall.
Cameron make All-Stars?
She did not make All-Stars, and I did not need her to make All-Stars.
Okay. So it worked out.
Yes. But Cameron had a really good season. I think it started clicking with her. I don't know if it watching the girls or what, but started really clicking in her head like, oh, this is why I do this, or it was fun to watch her this year.
Nice. She's 5?
She is 5. She turned 6 in September.
She'll still be playing 6U.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got a whole nother year of it.
Mom coaching that at all?
No, at all. I can't. Again, I don't know if I can do 6 years old. I probably shouldn't be doing high school. No, I'm kidding. But I cannot do 6-year-old at all. 6 years old. Nope.
What about your dad? Well, he would be Pawpaw.
Yep, Poppy is what they call him.
I'm sure Poppy would be a lot more lax.
He would be much better than me. However, Poppy has zero sense of urgency. So he doesn't utilize his time very well. Oh, okay. So I think that would be a recipe for disaster too, because he would be like hyper focused on one kid for like 30 minutes and then their practice is over. Yeah. So I don't
He does a great job with the girls in the batting cage.
He really, really does. Again, he loses track of time, but he does. And he always did a great job with everybody else. And not saying he didn't do a great job with me, he did, but he was just so sweet to everyone else. And he was never sweet with me.
He loves you, Whitney.
Oh, I know he loves me. And he made me who I am, and I owe him the whole world. And he loves softball. He loves softball. So it's fun to get to do it with him.
Funny story. Before Bella got to like workouts and stuff, she was playing some other sports at that time. Bella's my daughter, if you're listening. Going into 9th grade now, this would have been like 8th grade. And she was hearing the horror stories from all the other girls of how bad cop Coach King is. And like she's, like all the other girls, probably freaking out. Like when basketball is over, I'm going to go to softball and I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And first practice, I pick her up because I want to see how practice goes. I pick her up. She gets in the car, and I said, so how was it? And she was like, you've been yelling at me for 10 years. This is nothing.
That's awesome.
And I was like, well, it was awesome. But then I was like, I didn't know how to feel. I was like, so are you throwing me under the bus? Are you talking about she's going to be great? Yeah, I didn't know, but it worked out. So anyway. Yeah. But I learned it was a teachable moment for me too. Yeah. Kind of like you. Hey, if you're going to love everybody else, you need to Love your daughter too.
Yes.
Somebody told me one time something about a lot of folks try to be just coach, even to your own kid on the field. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you're going home as daddy.
You can't.
Right.
Like, you can't. You have to get in the car with them, and you have to tuck them in at night. Like, you can't do that. And some kids, you have to know your kid too. My dad knew I could take it. Like, and he knew how to push my buttons, but on the outside looking in, it probably scared the crap out of a whole lot of people. But like, I'm a better person for it. And I understand, like, especially now as an adult and as a mom, like, I understand it was all out of love. It was not out of just,
for me personally, it is you may be, down here at, say, level 7, and I know you can achieve level 10.
Right.
I see it in you.
Absolutely.
I know that, and so I'm driving you to get there and excel and be excellent.
And I think that's why I love the bad cop persona, because that's what I got from him, and I've learned that from him. Like, he could push me to levels I did not know existed. You know what I'm saying? And he instilled that confidence in me, like, oh, I've turned it up a notch. I can even go higher. And I really enjoy that with the girls, because I know that, they don't even realize, like, they can turn it up a notch or two. You know what I'm saying? So I enjoy that.
All right, Coach, got some rapid fire questions,
okay.
And then we'll wrap this up here. I'm just going to shoot something out there. First thing comes to your mind, or
Lord, okay.
best answer you can come up with.
Okay.
Question number 1, favorite restaurant?
I don't know. Rose.
Oh, Rose in Town, Rose Grill. Have you been there since they moved to the square?
Yes.
I guess, yes. It's great. I was there a couple weeks ago. There, shout out to Rose if you'd like to send in some ad money or something, or support Ardmore softball.
Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Beach or mountains?
Ooh, I like both. I would probably say beach, but I love both. I'm a travel girl. I like to travel.
Yeah, you guys were down in Mexico a few weeks ago.
And it was awesome. Hotel Xcaret. I recommend it to anyone. Spend the money.
Took go. Kids too.
We took the girls. We did not take Dansby.
Wow.
We would have had to pay double, and he's not going to remember it, and he would have held us back on a lot of things. I'm sorry, Dansby. But
he'll get his Disney
yes, he
trip
definitely
in a few years.
will. Absolutely.
Favorite music genre?
Country.
Gosh, that's terrible.
I like country. I listen to country more than anything. I like all genres. I don't want you to think that. Like, I love metal. I love.
But that's the one you're going
hip-hop.
to if you're in the car by yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
102?
I actually have Sirius XM, but Highway or I listen to No Shoes a lot, surprisingly. When Highway keeps repeating songs over and over, I listen to No Shoes a lot.
I know you guys were working out yesterday, and I was shooting some video, and there was a playlist that was just absolutely
all over the place. That's me. That's me.
Yeah, okay. I like it. You currently watching anything on Netflix?
I'm not. I need to, but I don't have time. Like I said, it's summertime. I'm busy. I don't have time.
No. Like
me and my husband watch Lost sometimes, but it's been a while since we've done that. But
watch what?
Lost. That's an old show, but it's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So
watch any live sports.
I watched MLB last night. I watched the Braves last night until they tied it up. Zuna, or right? Am I saying that right? He tied it up, and then I went to bed.
Watch the College World Series, I assume.
Boys?
No.
Talking about men or women?
Softball.
Softball? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I watch that. Yeah, but I have not, I can honestly say I have not been watching the men's College World Series. I want to because I'm pulling for Murray State, who's not pulling for Murray State, but I just haven't watched it.
I like watching baseball a little bit. It just gets so long and drawn out.
Yeah,
if I have an option between softball and baseball, I'm watching softball every time.
Absolutely. I actually just got into, I've always been a Red Sox and Braves fan, but the past few years I really got into MLB, but I only like it September, October.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Right now it's pretty miserable to watch.
Yeah. Any other sports, live sports on TV you watching?
No.
Big football fan in the fall?
I used to be, but I'm not anymore.
So you're not
You want me to tell you why?
Do it.
All right. So, again, I played SEC softball. This is just – so when I was at Auburn, 14 through 17. Auburn football was terrible.
You missed it by
I missed it
year.
by 1 year.
The 13 year was
Yeah,
good for Auburn.
1 year. Yeah, and then it was terrible.
And that just
so my second year of going to the World Series, like that's the biggest stage of college softball. Our second year too, like we've done a lot. You know, like we are representing Auburn. We get a sweatsuit. In June, going to Oklahoma City, we get a sweatsuit from Auburn. You know what the football team got for going to the Birmingham Bowl?
Jordans.
No, better. They got a gaming chair and an Xbox.
Nice.
Each football player got that. Not saying I really want a gaming chair and Xbox, but I could sell it and make a whole lot more money than a sweatsuit.
But you're like, hey guys, what's up?
Birmingham it's complete, and I understand football makes more money, but and I'm throwing this under the bus. You knew a football player because they either drove a Camaro or a Mustang or a Charger. You knew one, and it's not just like that at Auburn. It's like that everywhere. You know,
especially now.
Now, yeah, absolutely. This was before NIL, so
Well, let's visit that for just a second. Was the ladies softball, basketball, any of that stuff seeing any kind of benefits of, hey, we can go eat free at Denny's?
When we played?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Really?
No.
Like nothing.
And in fact, I feel like they hammered us on that because we were there. They knew we did the right thing, so I felt like they would always use us. You know what I'm saying? Like we made them look good. No, that didn't happen.
You were the law abiders.
Yes, that did not happen at all during for girls sports at all, but it did happen for boys sports. I'll be the first to tell you. Yeah,
and it's come a long way now. I see. We've got pictures for Texas Tech getting big $1 million deals, and Texas Tech is reeling in recruits left and right with oil money.
It is. But with all that said, Jerry Glasgow said it best. Like we're talking about her $1 million NIL deal, which is a big deal, but like. Why are we bringing that up in the Women's College World Series when she's like stressed? I mean, like that just adds to her stress, and like that's not the focus of the tournament, right? But yet we don't talk about, hey, this dude's got a $3 million NIL deal in a big game. We're not talking about his NIL deal. We're only talking about her. So I still think there's a long way to go with that.
I agree. Moving on. Question number 5: Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Early bird. I'm not a night owl at all.
Time you go to sleep at night?
Oh, anywhere between 8:30 to 10 o'clock,
and
I'm
I sent
out
you some
fast.
text messages about stuff at like 9, and I don't get a reply till the next day.
Once I lay my head down, I'm out, and it's wherever I lay my head down. My kid's bed, the couch. Yeah, I'm done.
Name one bucket list item. You just went to Mexico, so that's off the list.
I would say take my daughter to the Women's College World Series.
Just go, or as like she's a player?
No, go. That's one thing my parents wish they would have done with me. And that's, I took her to the SEC tournament last year. We had a blast, and she didn't have a clue what was going on. But I want her to go in the next few years as a little child, as a kid, because the girls I played with, like that did go as a kid, like they could. You see all these little girls, right? And they want autographs and all the things, and like you can see they saw themselves through those girls. So it made that experience so much more special. Like, I had great parents, but I didn't go when I was a kid, so I didn't get that. I didn't feel that, And I want, not saying my kid is going to make it to the Women's College World Series whatsoever, but I want her to go. Also, like, hey, my mom played in this, So I just I want to do that with her.
Okay. What about just taking the whole team?
That would be awesome.
That's the bucket list item for like your booster club, Black and Gold Club. Hey, I want to take my team.
That would be awesome.
Well,
that's a big commitment, though. That's a big commitment.
I was going to ask you off the record. Well, we can delete it if we don't like it. If you had a bucket list for your program, your facilities, and money was no object, like there was no, Board of Education could hinder anything, or they could help anything, or if anything was on the table in the next, say, 3 years with your program, your facilities, wish list, what would it be?
I'm not bougie. I know a lot of people. I'm not bougie at all, and I don't know. Maybe to put something over the batting cage, but not like I don't want it to be enclosed. I would like bigger dugouts. I know what a locker room, like a nicer locker room for the girls. Definitely.
We'll put that on the list.
I don't know where you'd put it.
Well, that's going to have to go through the Board of Education.
Yes.
So,
but you asked that question, so
yes.
Now that like a nicer locker room.
Anything like the College World Series that does not have to go through all of the red tape.
What do you mean?
Like you could just take your girls to the College World Series
sure.
if you had somebody that financed that trip.
Absolutely, I would for sure like to do that, or even like a super regional.
Yeah.
Like a super regional.
Or we get all gold uniforms with black pinstripes, stuff like that.
I would love. So I just recently ordered them new uniforms, and the price tag is like a stab in my heart. But if we could get like a real slick set of uniforms, that would be sweet. But
we'll put that at the top of the list, and then the
which this new set's going to be real sweet. But like I'm talking like
we can also put in a word with Sam Brooks.
Yeah,
he's a church member.
I know he's helped me. He helped me with these uniforms a lot. So
we'll tell him to pray about it.
Okay.
Last question: most used emoji.
Most used emoji
on your cell phone.
Probably the one like the upside down smiley face.
Okay.
Because that's how I feel 100% of the time. Like I'm happy, but I'm just here.
I like it. All right, Coach, anything else you want to share with anybody of the tens of tens who are listening?
I don't think so. Thank you for having me.
Hey, I appreciate you being here. It's a good lead in to the rest of summer, and me and Mr. Jay Vassar will be in here doing some podcasts for football season.
Awesome.
What do you guys get to do in the off season? I mean, I know you got a lot of girls who play other sports, and so obviously they won't be around because they're doing other things. I know you got a handful of girls who are just with you. What does the off season? I know you're kind of limited on things that you can do.
You get 2 hours per week for 10 weeks, so you can start that whenever you want to start that. You don't have to do it. You can kind of start it like at the end of December and roll through January. So it's up to the coach's discretion how you use it. I think this year I'm excited because Ardmore's going to block schedule. So that 2 hours actually doesn't start until the bell, right? Till after school's done. So whatever you do during school hours does not count toward that 2 hours. So that makes it gives us a lot of time. Yeah. A lot more time during the week to do stuff.
Pretty strategic too.
Yeah. So I would say probably after homecoming. That way you can get some like a month with the basketball girls, right? And then basketball start, and then you can get a month with the volleyball girls. So I think probably after homecoming, which will be that first or that last weekend in August. So we'll start probably that first week, probably start after Labor Day in September, and we'll do our 2 hours a week, and we'll work for 10 weeks, and then we'll be ready to roll in January.
We know the expectation at Ardmore is Blue Mount.
Absolutely.
We have no seniors.
No seniors.
How you feel about the upcoming season?
I'm excited because it makes me feel like, don't get me wrong, nothing against seniors, but it reminds me of my freshman season. We didn't have a senior and we won, so I'm just not saying that's gonna happen. I'm excited. I'm really excited. We're young, and I see the potential. We're gonna be good for again, it's building. We're building it, but this just means since we're young, we're gonna be good for years, not just a year.
I think I've told somebody. I think we're sitting on a gold mine as far as talent. There's a lot of young girls. There's Bella's class is 10, 11 girls in that one class. And then with no seniors, you're not losing anybody.
Absolutely.
So, kind of wherever you go this year, you would expect it's nowhere but up from there.
Getting them to buy in and trust the process and trust what we're trying to instill in them and the philosophies and all the things. We will go as far as they want to go.
Well, personally, I hope you stay at Ardmore for a minimum of at least another 4 years. Well,
Absolutely.
I think by doing this show, you have signed the contract that you are at least locked in there for at least another 4 years. But Do you have any like aspirations to possibly coach at the college level? Is that something on your radar for the future?
So if you would have asked me this before I went to Hatton, I would have said absolutely. Like, get me out of high school. Get me out of middle school. Get me out of high school. I loved coaching middle school. I don't want you to think that. But I was ready to do something else. I've always felt my calling was softball. But I was ready to go try to do college. However, I've going to Hatton, it really just gave me that love back for high school softball. I've always loved high school softball. I've always loved middle school softball. It just gave me that love back. So I have no plans to leave Ardmore. I love Ardmore. I talk highly about Hatton, but Ardmore's a great place to be. I'm so thankful ball, kind of went for me and got me over here so much closer to home. Ardmore has been fantastic to me. I love it. I don't want anybody to think I don't, and I have no plans on leaving anytime soon.
Good. So if Auburn calls, sorry guys.
They would. I've
If
gotten
Auburn
a few. I've gotten a few offers, like to do some things with some small D1 schools, and though I would love that, being a mom of 2 small children, recruiting, and then the grind of travel and all the things college softball wise, especially in the evenings, it's very, very hard to be a mom and do that. I'm not saying it's not possible, because it's hard to be a mom and do what I do.
Right.
I just, right now, the money would have to be an astronomical number. My raise would have to go way up, not just a little bit up. So, again, I'm in it.
Well, you're locked in for at least another 4 years. So,
yeah.
Hey, doesn't matter if one of the pro leagues calls, offers you millions of dollars.
They won't.
Sorry. They're going to buy out your contract now.
They won't. Trust me. They will not. I don't have any desire to do anything with the pro league. Nothing against them. I just don't have any desire. But college, maybe one day. But again, right now I have no desire.
Well, you got plenty of years left. You could win 4, 8, 22.
I want to be around for my kid if this is what she decides to do. Right now, it's not what I don't think this is what she's going to do. Again, she did have a really good. It kind of started clicking with her. She does love to be around the ball field, so that kind of gives me a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
But I want to be around and do this if this is what she decides to do. If it's not what she decides to do, I'm going to be all in to what she wants to do, because my parents were all into what I want to do. I only think that's fair. But again, I'm going to keep doing it until she makes a decision, honestly.
So we just need to recruit her.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right now, she's 100% Ardmore Tiger. She wears her Ardmore Tiger shirt to school. Every day.
Where's she go to school?
Well, she goes to First Baptist, but she will go. Yes, she will go. She starts kindergarten this year. She will go to Cowart and Athens City Schools, but she will be wearing her Ardmore stuff to Athens City Schools, which is hilarious to me.
Or she could go to Cedar Hill.
She could. We've discussed that. So the thing with Cedar Hill, all my help is in Athens. We live in Athens. It would be great in the fall, because in the mornings it would make my life a whole lot easier if she went to Cedar Hill. But in the afternoons, she would ride a bus over back to Ardmore High School. And then she would have to sit there in the season for hours upon hours. I don't want to have to do that to her.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
At least if she goes to Athens. My mornings are going to be hectic, but we're going to try it for a year. Kids are resilient. Change is nothing to kids. So if we have to make a change, we'll make a change. But right now, we're going to keep her.
Well, they're the same colors. I mean, they're gold and black, too. So.
Yeah, but she is 100% an Ardmore Tiger.
She is.
Through and through.
She was at regionals, giving it her all.
Yes.
I tried to find the video. No one had one. She was cheering the whole 9 yards. She loved it.
Every day. Are you going to work today? Are you going to be with the girls today? When can I see the girls again? Can I go? She has a love. She loves Bella, but Raylan Dempsey is her favorite player of all time. So she asks about her every single day. Can Raylan babysit me today? Can we go to Raylan's house? All the things. So shout out to Raylan for stealing my kid's heart.
There you go. She's blonde too, so
yes.
that probably y'all.
She's mean. Cameron's mean. They're
Cameron don't seem mean.
Is
she mean to little brother?
No, she is. That's one thing about Cameron.
She's a little mama
Cameron
bird.
is a very, very good big sister. Now, she's mean to other people.
Oh, okay.
She's mean to her mama sometimes. She's sweet to her mama, but she's mean to her mama.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, yeah, she can be mean.
Oh, fun. All right, Coach, thanks for stopping in. Hopefully we can do this again maybe this time next year, and we'll have a blue map to talk about.
Absolutely.
And the future of Ardmore softball. Appreciate it. Those of you who are listening will be on the air in about 8 weeks for football. Jay Vassar will be back, and we'll start talking about football here in Limestone County. Hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks for listening. God bless.